Ryan from Facebook says, I had an interesting conversation with my fiance last night about how looks are just as important as personality to me. I said 50% looks and 50% personality make up my attraction, and she got upset at that and thought 50% of looks was way too high. She is going to ask her office and the doctor she works with to see what they think today. That's a very lady thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just a very common thing. I'm going to consult with my social group to get an idea of what to think about this. I gave in a few minutes later and thought that I might be missing some things on the pie chart, but I thought those are both pretty important. Where might I be going wrong? And do women see this differently? People see this differently. Dude, if I go ask another guy on the street, yo, neighbor, Joe, pie chart, construct the perfect, what makes up what you find important to women. And maybe just to help them out, I'll give them like a 8 different things to choose from. Looks, personality, intellect, work ethic, I don't know, whatever. Do you think every man's going to go looks, personality, boom, boom, done? Probably not. And your wife's no different. I think what a lot of people do, especially in this relationship space, is they try to break everything down into team woman, team man. And that doesn't necessarily apply everywhere. With that being said, I think, yes, women are more sensitive to the whole looks thing. Which, by the way, Ryan, I'm going to be kind of agreeing with you here. Looks are pretty important to me. I wrote my book, The Dead Bedroom Fix, to try and illustrate a point in there. What if there was this woman who was 900 pounds and had a beard? But man, she was just you guys really clicked at an intellectual level, very friendly, hilarious person, great friend. But if she said, we should jump in bed together, you'd be like, oh, hell, no. Well, why? The looks thing, hugely important. You cannot get going with a 900-pound woman with a beard, and there's nothing wrong with that. No, I'm not going to shame you for that. Anybody who tries to shame you for that, they got a problem. So with that being said, you're being pretty blunt here. Yeah, looks are important to me. Personality, they're both pretty even for me. And she took that really not well. Well, for women, they're pretty sensitive to that. Why? Let's be honest. Through probably the majority of their childhood, I was going to say puberty on, but no. As a little girl, they're praised for, you're so pretty. Look how pretty you are. Look at my pretty princess. Oh, you look so pretty. I like your pretty dress. I like your pretty eyes. I have a daughter who's very, very pretty. I have 2 daughters, both of them beautiful. One's 21 years of age and the other one's 3. Every time I say that, I have to laugh. I'm one of those guys. And the 3-year-old, especially now at a young age, gets the whole, her eyes are gorgeous. Your eyes are gorgeous, beautiful. Look at you. She has very pretty eyes, very pretty hair. And she got my wife is half Indian, so she has a beautiful complexion. So my daughter has inherited some of that. So she tans very well. So there's this blonde-haired, hazel-eyed, tan girl, and everybody's like, she's just stunning. So she's getting this message at 3 years of age. Looks. Nobody stops her and says, you're so smart. Your personality, you're just so funny. Look at you. But, let's be honest, that they don't notice that. You got to get to know a person to see that, right? So initially, the very first reaction is pretty. So you hear that your whole freaking life. And then post-puberty, when men really start noticing you because you start turning into a woman, it's obvious. Looks are so important. Everybody around you starts acting differently. Even the teacher at school starts treating you differently. And all these men that you looked up to as fatherly figures or whatever it may be, they start treating you differently because you're now a quote-unquote woman or whatever. You're going through changes and so forth. So a lot of women are like, wow, number one, a lot of guys are kind of dirtbags. Number two, all they think about is the boobs and everything else. Yuck. And but I found somebody who was different, that looks beyond that. They love me for me. Not all that superficial stuff that I've heard my whole life. And then here comes husband saying, what's important to me? 50% looks, personality. She's like, God damn it. You're like everybody else. What the hell? And on top of that, not only are the looks important through their whole life, and they hear this through their whole life, but as they age, there's this stigma of, and we hear it in our space, in this the red pill guys, and I did a video of it breaking it down and making fun of those guys for saying that because it's not a nice thing to say, and that is this whole concept of women hitting the wall. You've heard this, that women hit this proverbial wall or time in their life where they go from attractive and worthy to yuck, older woman. And every woman goes through this stage or whatever, and it's not nice. It's a terrible thing to say. We all age, men and women alike. So, but she hears that message from popular culture a lot. Women in Hollywood will tell you the same thing. Actresses, when they hit a certain age, all the jobs just dry up. They don't need them anymore. It's sad. So your wife sees this coming. Be an older woman. I will lose my, quote, value according to, the shitheads of society. I was hoping you, husband, would be better than all that. And here you go, no, looks. But in your defense, you're being honest, right? But I can see why it would rub her the wrong way.